Hello, Scorpios. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Scorpio, I have already pulled out a couple of cards. I love it. There's a lot of water on the table that has already come out. We're using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun deck to get started here. And your underline is so, I love it because it's literally the sun in Scorpio. But it's called endurance in this card. And you can see this man is wrestling the sun. He's wrestling the sun. Well, he's wrestling the symbol of the sun, right? Which is a strength card, which is coming off, right? Like Leo energy. You look at it and you think that's so interesting, but it's like sort of like an internal struggle within oneself is what that really talks about, and the strength to endure that. So I find it interesting that the underlying card is literally a sun in Scorpio. Here we are, and there's another placement that we're going to be talking about. You don't have to have this specific placement that is on the card that is showing me your energy right now. The message that comes with that is very important. But some of you could literally have the placement that we are going to discuss. And I do feel like this is, so there's a real obvious part of you that is sort of in the past here, like that is more obvious. I am going to talk about that. So I feel like what I'm getting into with your reading today is that we are talking about a more nuanced aspect of what makes you you, right? Like everyone coming here is, or just out of curiosity, has some type of Scorpio placement, whether it's something in the 8th house, something to do with Pluto, something to do with Mars. Yeah, or you could have a Venus in Scorpio. Like there's so many different things it could be, right? So, but this is right. So if we look at you as a whole with this and it's coming up though as your past. So I feel like there was maybe some sort of major transformation that you were going through. There was also something here that I feel like you wanted to say or talk to somebody about, but you didn't say anything. And you didn't say anything because you would prefer to kind of like not water it down. You would rather be like really specific and really take the time to put in all the details and have a very thorough discussion. But if that was something that did not present itself, or the opportunity wasn't available, or the person you felt was not open to knowing deeper things about you or a situation that you were in, you preferred not to say anything at all. It's just better not to say anything at all, because the depth of what this actually is and someone understanding it is, it's not something that anyone's going to understand in like a 10-minute conversation. This is something that takes a lot of time. So it could be something about you too. It could be something about you too, where, you know, you could have been dealing with people that just didn't know you very well. They weren't the kind of people that you would share deeper bits of information with. It just really comes across as not wanting to water things down. So, you know, let's just not talk about it at all. Let's not say anything at all about it. There's a lot of like symbolism of death and rebirth in here, obviously, as well, too. But also, with having said that, it's kind of like making sure you know who you are before anyone else does. You know, I feel like the way he's holding back the lion in this card, which is being symbolized by the sun, which is self-actualization, which is something that I feel like Scorpio is always actively working towards in their lifetime, with death and rebirth here being so very symbolic. So that's like a past energy here. Now, the energy that we have for you today, I said, Spirit, show me Scorpio, show me Scorpio's energy. We have Jupiter in Pisces. This is a very, very, so I say this is an aspect of you that the Spirit wants to talk about here, or this is very prominent. Some of you might have a Jupiter in Pisces. So I know, or for any one of my Scorpio members, there was a placement here. I think it was in Cancer. They're like, that's why they had it. So you don't know. Regardless, again, I want to say, if you do not have Jupiter in Pisces, that doesn't mean that this isn't your message or this isn't your energy. So this Jupiter in Pisces card is just definitely someone who is going to have some type of a psychic ability here. I think that's really interesting because to me, Scorpio also has a very psychic ability. It's seeing things within people that a lot of people aren't going to see. I feel like that you would have a very strong ability for that, to see or feel or sense things within other people that they wouldn't see, feel, or sense in themselves, or maybe they wouldn't be consciously connected to it as much as you actually might be, right? So, because Scorpio in the 8th house is the things that we hide about ourselves. So I feel like y'all are really good at hiding those things about yourself, but you're also really good at seeing the things within other people that they are trying to hide or that are hidden. So is this highlighting we are talking about right now? So your psychic ability, maybe it's bumped up a little bit here. Maybe there's something going on that's related to you in terms of any planetary placements that are in Pisces right now, or wherever the heck. Jupiter's in Cancer. Jupiter's exalted in Cancer right now, right? Jupiter's being exalted in Cancer. And I don't know, I don't even know what's in Scorpio right now. I'm not even sure. There's so much going on, I can't keep track of it. So definitely we're highlighting your psychic ability here, right? But there's a lot more to this card too. This is also somebody who's very empathic, somebody who's also very sympathetic to people around them. And hear me out on this, because this is going to bring us around to why this message might be coming out for you right now. So Jupiter in Pisces, and I can also see this, I could see this in Scorpio, because Scorpio shares Mars with Aries, right? And Aries also has this trait. And I'm wondering, I feel like Scorpio could have this trait too. Any Scorpio that I've known, and when they're passionate about somebody or something, they're really passionate about it. So probably more so than an Aries would be. But there's like an advocate. This is the energy of somebody who would advocate for another, who would help somebody in a tough luck story, or somebody who, right, because you have this sympathy and this empathy, and you can see things within people that they may not even be consciously aware of, or just nobody else is seeing this. So there could be people around you that have certain needs, and you are really good at fulfilling those and helping people that may be in need. People that may find themselves in need, people that are having a bit of tough luck, and you see beyond the person's story or situation. You might see a psychological or an emotional need that somebody is not having met. But when you connect to someone that you feel a lot of deep connection to, it's almost like nothing will stop you from defending that person, to protecting that person, to advocating for that person, to trying to help that person get the resources that they need. This can be a very, very passionate person, right? And because it's coming out in your reading right now, hear me out, here we go, is that sometimes this energy can be taken advantage by others. I don't know, maybe you're dealing with someone who has Jupiter in Pisces, and they're really, really good with these energies. But there's a possibility here, Scorpio, that there's someone who you might be advocating for who may not deserve it. This person may not deserve it. And it's interesting, right? Because I'm going to say that I feel like this is another water sign, or somebody who has some type of strong water sign placement somewhere in their chart, because I feel like Scorpio has a bit of a superpower to them, and it is like seeing these things, keeping things within themselves. It's almost like a force field, but also being able to see through other people's force fields is kind of like this Scorpio. That's a really powerful superpower. And I feel like there's someone around you who has something of a similar superpower. This person could be trying to seduce you for an ulterior motive here. And in terms of seducing you, right, it doesn't have to be sexual at all. It just, and to be honest, I don't even know that it is. But it's somebody who is trying to play on your sympathy and empathy, maybe even trying to play on your desires a little bit. This person maybe wanting to, right, I feel like you're dealing with someone who can also see through people the way that you can. So I don't know if there's someone around you who is seeing a need or a lack, or they've recognized a nuance about you that is showing them something that they can kind of get on your side, or they can get you to support them. Now, there is the possibility here that you might be doing this. You could have an ulterior motive here. Your ulterior motive, because we're combining this with Scorpio, that's a really interesting way that I'm trying to like read this, right? Is because this is like, I'm reading this for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. There could be something that you are trying to suss out about someone here, and you haven't been able to do it in a traditional way that you typically would with other people. You may even be feeling like maybe there's someone around you and you're having some type of a psychic block around this person. There's things about this person that you can't see or understand. So you may be trying to play on somebody's sympathy or empathy here to kind of see what reaction you get from them. You're basically, I feel like you're trying to understand someone that it's almost like if you come up against yourself. Maybe to some degree there is that, but I don't know. So we're gonna get into the tarot, but this is also, it does. The strongest message with this though is that this is a very psychic time for you. This is an incredibly psychic time for you. So let's see what this endurance was in the past. Wow, the Ace of Cups. A rebirth in emotion. An emotional rebirth. A rejuvenating your emotions. I like that. The water, rejuvenating your water element here. Well, you're very watery right now. Holy, the moon. Jeez. The Eight of Cups. You lost yourself in temperance. And how fascinating, right? Like this fire sign, the fire symbol that is balancing water. This is giving me sort of like, it's almost like somebody going into, okay, the look on her face is telling it all to me. Can you see it? Is it, I don't know how well it just doesn't. It just doesn't. I don't know. It's kind of like this. It's side-eye. She's literally side-eyeing the moon here. So it could have been a Cancer. I mean, you've got like I said, your other water signs, look at that, are really strong in this reading. Pisces and Cancer, both coming out here pretty strong. Although the moon card in the tarot is Pisces, but that's so weird. So anyways, I mean, I understand. But right, look at this. Even in this moon card, the crab is symbolized here, coming out of the water. There's a sense here of not feeling comfortable with somebody else's hidden feelings. Or, yes, shit. There's been something about someone in your life that you can't read. And biding your time. It's almost like just finding like, okay, that's cool. We'll just see. I'm just going to let things be. I'm just going to let things naturally alchemize here. I'm just going to be patient and graceful. Okay. So now, who's doing the seduction? Let's clear that up. Who's doing the seducing here? And of what it is, I don't know. Who's doing the seduction? Who's actually seducing? The Four of Swords. Okay, I don't typically see that to have anything to do with you, but I don't know. So I think it might be an outside source here. Person, it could be swords. Somebody, swords. 4, 2, 3, 4. I feel like this is Libra. 2, 3, and 4. I think 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4 is Libra. So this could be someone who's a Libran. Well, that's interesting, right? Like, okay. It's somebody who's healing. It's somebody who's resting. How are they seducing? It almost like they're not doing anything. How are they doing this? Because it's like this person is laying down in bed. How are they seducing? Maybe they're acting sick. Is somebody acting sick? Let me see. Who's seducing? It's like literally somebody laying in bed is trying to seduce. How are they trying to seduce Scorpio? Oh, my heart's broken, honey. Three of Swords. Is this a Pisces? Come on. The Hanged Man and the 5 of Pentacles. Oh, this is somebody giving you a hard luck story. I don't know if it is or not. Is it a story? I don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions here. How are they seducing you? Okay. It's like this person is trying to show you that they've done a lot of healing. They've done a lot of healing. Oh, man. Okay, okay. Is this someone... This feels like it could be someone somehow from your past. And I say that because it's like... yeah, I'm hearing that. How do you like me now? I'm hearing that, like, how do you like me now? How do you like me now? So, right? So if you're asking someone how they would like you now, that means they knew you before. Yeah, there could be somebody here who's trying to show you that they've done a lot of healing, that, you know, the distance between us is uncomfortable. It's like this person wants you to see that they're healed just enough to be considered for whatever, I don't know. Maybe it is romantic. They're healed just enough to be considered, but there's just enough unhealed areas that are tempting to want to nurture, which I feel like plays in on this, right? Like that sympathy and empathy. So this person is like, look at how healed I am. But then there's almost as if, is this person showing you some type of little tiny vulnerability, or, right? This feels very strategic, okay? This feels very strategic. I don't know. Maybe it's you too. I have no idea. That maybe this is you doing this to somebody. Because it's like showing up healed enough to feel fresh. Healed enough for someone to feel like, wow, this is fresh. This is amazing. But then at least 1 or 2 little areas here that play into someone's sympathy. Because it's like the sympathy card's important here. Somebody's feeling like the sympathy card is important. Well, it is important because it came out for your reading. The sympathy card is important. So let's be healed, but let's not be too healed so that sympathy energy here will play. Now, could you be dealing with a Pisces? This could be like a very nuanced aspect of Scorpio. I mean, I don't want to say that this isn't, I don't know, it doesn't feel nefarious. Okay. Okay, that's how it's being seduced here. How is Scorpio dealing with all of this? Let me just see how Scorpio is dealing with all of this. That might give me an idea. Are you the seducer, or are you being seduced here? Pisces is also really psychic. So I feel like out of Cancer and Pisces, I feel like well, maybe. Maybe I was correcting myself there. I feel like Pisces could be the one that could see through you better, but I don't know. You're just like, I just said, how is Scorpio dealing with all of this? You're like, I'm just deathing and rebirthing, honey. That's what I'm doing. I'm just being me. Okay, I'm just being me. Scorpio's like, I'm just being me. I'm just going through my cycles. I'm just gonna do. That's how you're dealing with it. Okay, I really feel like somebody here is trying to seduce you. They want to look healed, but they still need a little bit of your help. Just enough so it's like, makes Scorpio feel important. I don't know. Death card. Voila, the Lovers. How are you dealing with it? The Six of Wands. The Strength card. Wow. And that just looks like this, right? The Strength card. You just doing you like you've done you before. Okay, you know you're on the right path, honey. that's how you know you're on the right path. And you also know that you are on your way to victory. You are recognizing that there are significant cycles that have been going on around you, and that no cycle is less than another, regardless of what sort of dynamic seems to be playing out. Recognizing the importance of each cycle gives you a very holistic and extended viewpoint of yourself and your future. You might be holding out for something here, to be honest. You could be holding out for something, and maybe that's what this, so maybe there's somebody here trying to seduce you, and you're like, no, I'm just doing my death and my rebirth, baby. I know what's for me, and I'll know it when I see it. So if somebody is trying to pull a fast one on you here, or if somebody is trying to seduce you in some way, you are not being fooled. If this is a Pisces, you ain't fooling them. So I'm kind of thinking there could be someone here, Scorpio, who maybe thinks that they... let me just ask, how does this person doing the seducing, how do they feel about Scorpio? How does this person feel about Scorpio? Oh, baby, right there in a second, honey. Knight of Swords. They may also feel like you come to conclusions too quickly. Too quickly. You come to conclusions too quickly, Pisces. It's Scorpio. Oh my God. You come to conclusions too quickly. Also feel like this person would, in a heartbeat, right freaking there, man. This is somebody, I do feel like this is someone from your past. When I say your past, though, too, this doesn't necessarily have to be an ex or somebody. This could be somebody you met last week at the grocery store, and the person was, I don't know, maybe this person was hitting on you or showing you some type of attention. But it's weird. It's almost like this person has gone back to the drawing board and thought about, maybe that seems kind of needy. Maybe that, like maybe this person is, kind of becoming self-aware in their own way here. Because it's almost like, I don't know, running into this person again at the grocery store. And they're like, okay, I'm going to be totally different. I'm going to be like, hey, Scorpio, how's it going? It's nice to see you again. And then just walks, I kind of like walk away. Like, I'm not being needy. I'm not being like trying to catch Scorpio here. And then having to bump into you, like, it's like, but this person's making mental notes. Like, okay, I know the last time Scorpio was here, they were buying, I don't know, what can you go through in a week? What can somebody go through in a week? I guess it depends on who you are. I don't know, milk. No, like, okay, they're going to need to go down that milk. Everybody goes down that aisle, whether it's milk or soy milk or butter. So then they just happen to find themselves down there. And then they'll show the vulnerability, like maybe they see you reaching for whipping cream. And they say, oh, I have always wanted to bake. I've always wanted to bake. I've always wanted to make my own fresh cream, whipped cream. I don't know how to do that. Right? Like that's kind of that funny way of showing up with a bit of an insecurity. And maybe you just like skedaddle. You're like, I'm out of here. Go ahead. They're like, Scorpio moves too quickly here. Scorpio comes to their conclusions. They come to conclusions too quickly. I don't know. With you have so much major arcana there too. It's like, I don't know, whatever you're doing, you're supported in it. Saying that. The 5 of Wands is at the bottom. So, oh, wow. Enduring the battle. Holding yourself back. Maybe trying not to get involved. Somebody trying to get you involved in something too, possibly. You're like, I ain't getting into that. I'm not getting involved in that. And maybe they're trying to, like, somebody's definitely trying to work on your sympathies here to get you to, I don't know, get on their side or advocate for them. I don't know. That. For the extended, I am going to go over there and do the extended. I'm going to ask, because of this Jupiter in Pisces energy, it can talk about sacrificing a great deal for someone that is loved. And so I'm going to ask, who is sacrificing a great deal for you because they do love you, Scorpio? And what is it that they are sacrificing? There are 2 options in the description below if you'd like to follow me to the extended. Thank you so much, Scorpiochinos. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.